Olá e bem-vindos aí a mais um webinar organizado pela EducationUSA, hoje falando sobre Greek Life e Student Organizations. É um prazer poder nos juntarmos a vocês e conversar um pouco mais sobre esse tema que muitas das vezes acaba sendo um tema também um pouco distante da nossa realidade, né? E esse seria um momento ideal para vocês, com as perguntas de vocês, poderem agregar, né, esse evento e a gente compartilhar a visão e conseguir entender de uma forma real, né, o que se trata na Greek Life e quais são os seus objetivos e como que ela se adequa dentro do campus de uma universidade americana. Então, para começarmos, né, vamos falar um pouco mais sobre a própria rede do EducationUSA, né, que é a organização por trás desse evento de hoje. Nós temos aí o EducationUSA filiado ao Departamento de Estado dos Estados Unidos. Nós estamos presentes em mais de 170 países, com mais de 450 escritórios, e só no Brasil nós temos atualmente 40 escritórios atuando, com o objetivo de proporcionar a toda a comunidade internacional informações precisas, abrangentes, atuais e imparciais sobre a educação superior nos Estados Unidos. Esse é o nosso objetivo e, com certeza, em um dos nossos escritórios você encontra, né, todo o apoio necessário para você conseguir alcançar o objetivo, seja realizar uma graduação, um mestrado, um doutorado, um programa de inglês ou um programa de curta duração, em qualquer uma das mais de 4.700 universidades hoje que estão disponíveis nos Estados Unidos. O EducationUSA faz essa orientação, esse auxílio, né, aos alunos internacionais através dessa metodologia de 5 passos. Então, o primeiro passo sendo ajudar você a conhecer as suas opções, entendendo, né, melhor o que está disponível dentro dos seus objetivos, encontrar uma forma de arcar com os custos da educação, né, de acordo, uma vez que você identifica a instituição ou as instituições que você gostaria de estudar, identificar se é realizável financeiramente falando, sendo viável financeiramente falando, tanto através do orçamento que você tem disponível, ou através da ajuda financeira que a universidade pode disponibilizar para você, a gente vai dar início aí ao preparo da candidatura, que é o application process, né, em si. E aí é onde a gente tem a maior parte do trabalho, né, digamos, com essays, com preparação para as provas, né, juntar todas essas informações e apresentar para as universidades para que elas descubram você, e para que assim você possa também aproveitar essa oportunidade de estudar, né, naquela instituição. Havendo esse sucesso, né, sendo admitido nesses programas, no EducationUSA ainda tem como auxiliar você com relação a todo o processo relacionado ao visto de estudante. Então, tudo que você precisa saber a respeito disso, como que você vai fazer a sua solicitação, qual o visto que estaria, né, disponível para você, como que ele funciona, e também a orientação com relação à preparação para a partida, que tem muito a ver com a questão cultural, acadêmica nos Estados Unidos. E é um pouco do tema que a gente está falando aqui também hoje, né? Tentar introduzir um pouco melhor dessa cultura, né, dentro da universidade americana, de como que ela funciona e como que ela vai influenciar também a sua vida enquanto você estiver estudando naquele lugar. Então, para, né, arrematar essa ideia, quero deixar para vocês aqui a informação que o EducationUSA, com as mais de 40 centros que nós temos no Brasil, eles podem orientar, auxiliar vocês, né, com todo o processo de orientação acadêmica. Você pode entrar em contato ali, tem o link aqui embaixo, né, das nossas unidades, pode entrar através do site, você encontra os escritórios mais próximos de você, todos os atendimentos estão sendo feitos online, então está super seguro, super tranquilo, e você consegue falar com qualquer um dos escritórios de sua preferência. Você pode também obter informações sobre os serviços de tradução certificada, sobre eventos, workshops, eventos como esse que estão acontecendo aqui. Tá? Eu quero destacar, chamar a atenção de vocês para 2 eventos que estão acontecendo. O primeiro deles é o plantão do EducationUSA, que acontece regularmente, de segunda a sexta-feira. Você encontra pelo menos 1 hora por dia para falar com 1 ou 2 orientadores, tirar dúvidas, esclarecer informações, tudo gratuito. E você encontra essas informações aqui também na nossa agenda, lá no site do educationusa.org.br/agenda. Você consegue verificar os dias, os horários que esses eventos acontecem e os plantões também. Todos os links, todas as informações estão lá. E eu quero também chamar a atenção de vocês para a grande feira virtual do EducationUSA que acontece agora, dia 25 de agosto, a partir das 16 horas, o horário de Brasília. Você consegue acessar, né, após realizar a sua inscrição, você consegue acessar e conversar com 80 diretores de admissão de universidades americanas, diferentes universidades, grandes, pequenas, de pesquisa, liberal arts, universidades que estão interessadas em falar com alunos da nossa região, alunos brasileiros, inclusive, e vai ser, com certeza, uma oportunidade fantástica para presenciar e participar também de palestras que acontecem online, assistir, ter acesso a muito conteúdo que vai ser disponibilizado para vocês nesse evento, e é um evento também que vai ficar disponível para que vocês possam acessar regularmente aí durante um período, normalmente são 30 dias, mas você vai poder ter acesso a todo o conteúdo que for disponibilizado dentro desse evento, né? Não só no dia do evento, mas depois também, tá? Então, com isso, com esses avisos, né, e com essa introdução, eu quero convidar a Marcele para falar um pouco mais agora sobre a Albion College, para apresentar um pouco mais sobre o assunto que a gente vai discutir. E lembrando a vocês que essa apresentação ela vai ser feita em português e inglês, né? Então fiquem à vontade para o que vocês quiserem perguntar, se quiserem colocar as perguntas no chat, se quiser perguntar em português, a gente pode depois, né, traduzir as perguntas para que os outros participantes possam também responder. E, enfim, fiquem à vontade para a gente tornar esse momento mais dinâmico possível e mais útil para vocês também. Okay, Marcele, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for making this event possible in such a short notice, right? Because it was an idea that we had, and thank you for embracing it.
Oi, gente, boa tarde. Meu nome é Marcele, como ele falou. Eu sou uma estudante brasileira aqui no Albion College. Já que vocês queriam ouvir um pouquinho mais sobre Greek Life, sobre Frats, sobre sororities, eu convidei alguns dos meus amigos que são parte dessas instituições e que vão poder tirar as dúvidas de vocês e vão poder sanar todas as suas questões. Eu vou pedir para eles falarem um pouquinho mais sobre eles e aí depois eu vou começar a nossa apresentação. Hey, John, could you introduce yourself?
For sure. Hi, everyone. I'm John. I'm a current student here at Albion College. I'm actually going to be a senior this coming fall. I'm involved in a lot of different things on campus. I am in one of the fraternities on campus, so I'm super excited to talk to you guys today about my experience in Greek life and what I've gotten out of it. Elsewhere, though, I'm also involved in some of the diversity groups on campus, as well as community service groups. So I'm just really excited to meet you all today and talk about some of my favorite things about Albion College.
Can you go next, Amina?
Of course. So hello all, my name is Mina and I'm an international student and a rising sophomore this year. And I'm from Mongolia and I never thought I would join the sororities to be honest, but it turned out to be like an opposite and I love sororities and like a Greek life as a basis. So like the reason why I joined the sorority is that it made me like a home, like the Albion College was during the pandemic. I came to Albion College during the pandemic, so the Greek life and sorority was the best place to like build my home, meet new friends, and just like explore as much as I can explore. So and I love my sisters. They were like a best friends and support as a sisters. So as a Greek life, I would say it's the best like a non-toxic and like healthy community that you can grow and develop together, I think.
Can you go next, Frank?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Frank Hernandez. I'm a rising senior, and I am the Interfraternity Council president. So I am the president that oversees all 6 of the fraternities. And I've been in Greek life since my freshman year. I totally love it. I do a lot for my fraternity as well. And I'm very interconnected with the college as well. I do so much for this college, and a lot of people on this call can like attest to that. And yeah, Greek life is such an amazing experience. Definitely not what a lot of the stereotypes you would think would be. So yeah.
Thank you. I will share my screen now. So I will present a little bit in Portuguese, and then John is gonna talk a little bit in English about his experience and how Greek life works. Then the plan is I'll ask them questions. Some of the questions you guys have submitted, but the chat is open. So if you guys have any other questions, just let us know, either in Portuguese or English. Let's go. Share screen. Ok. Português agora, né? Eu vou falar um pouquinho sobre Greek Life aqui e nos Estados Unidos em geral, porque muitas das vezes a ideia que a gente tem de Greek Life vem de séries e filmes que a gente assiste, e é claro que algumas coisas são verdade, mas eu diria que a maioria não é. Então, vamos lá, vamos aprender um pouquinho mais sobre isso. Antes de tudo, eu queria falar um pouquinho sobre o Albion College. A gente é um college aqui nos Estados Unidos que é considerado pequeno. Então, a gente tem cerca de 1.500 alunos. 41% dos nossos alunos são são students of color. Então, se identificam como indígenas ou como pretos ou como pardos. Mais ou menos, a gente tem mais ou menos 16 alunos em cada sala, mas isso é só no seu primeiro ano aqui. Então, no seu primeiro ano, você vai geralmente puxar matérias que são mais introdutórias. Essas matérias vão ter mais ou menos 16 alunos na sua sala, mas uma vez que você vai para o seu segundo, terceiro, quarto semestre, você já vai puxar outras matérias que são um pouquinho mais avançadas e geralmente você vai ter 6, 7 outros alunos na sala com você. Então, eu acho isso muito bom, porque te dá a oportunidade de você ter quase que uma aula particular com o seu professor. Você pode conhecer os alunos que estão com você e você tem uma conexão maior com o seu professor, você se sente mais à vontade para fazer perguntas. É muito bom para alunos internacionais também, porque, por exemplo, quando eu cheguei aqui, eu sabia que eu sabia falar um pouquinho de inglês, mas às vezes eu não estava tão confiante de chegar lá e de levantar a mão e de perguntar as coisas. Essa ideia de estar com poucas pessoas na mesma sala me deixou muito mais confortável. Hoje em dia eu acho que se eu estivesse numa sala com muito mais gente, eu conseguiria falar e eu seria muito mais aberta a isso. Mas quando eu cheguei aqui, eu não era assim, eu era muito mais na minha, tinha muito mais medo de fazer as coisas. Eu acho que isso é normal. A nossa média, para quem aplica para cá, de tanto SAT quanto ACT, é de mais ou menos 1.100 no SAT e mais ou menos 25, 24 no ACT. Agora, a gente está test optional por causa do Covid, então a gente entende que tem países como o Brasil, que a situação está muito complicada e que não vale a pena você se prestar ao serviço de ir para um lugar com um monte de gente para fazer uma prova. A gente super entende isso, então, no momento, se você conseguir fazer a prova, bom, mas se você não conseguir isso, não é um problema. A única coisa que a gente pede de prova é uma prova que você mostre que você sabe falar um pouquinho de inglês. E essa prova pode ser o TOEFL, pode ser o Duolingo, e a gente tem algumas outras opções também. A gente não tem taxa nenhuma para estudantes internacionais aplicarem, então isso é uma coisa muito boa também. E geralmente os alunos aqui têm um GPA de mais ou menos 3,6 de 4, então é bem alto. Sobre a nossa comunidade internacional, a gente tem 55 alunos de 28 países diferentes e a gente é envolvido em um monte de coisa. Então, tem alunos cursando tudo. Educação, arte, geologia, ciências, medicina, todas as coisas. A gente tem 78 cursos aqui, então tem muitas opções também. E se você estiver interessado, você pode fazer 2 ou 3 cursos, 3 faculdades ao mesmo tempo. Isso é normal aqui, não, eu sei que é uma ideia louca para um brasileiro, mas aqui eles te ajudam a fazer isso acontecer, caso você esteja interessada. Então, no momento, eu estou cursando Geologia e Física, eu sei que o John também faz 2 faculdades ao mesmo tempo, e isso é normal, se você quiser, e isso provavelmente vai te ajudar no futuro, se você quiser, se tiver um sonho de ter um emprego específico. A gente tem muitos eventos culturais o tempo inteiro, tanto só para os alunos internacionais, quanto para a comunidade e para a faculdade. E a gente tem uma casa, que é onde eu e a Mina moramos, que é só para alunos internacionais, que é show de bola. A gente tem um aluno de cada país e a gente aprende muito junto e cozinha um para o outro, ensina o outro sobre os nossos países e mora junto, vive junto, é muito legal. Uma coisa diferente que a gente tem aqui também para alunos internacionais é o CIE Office, que é o Center for International Education. Basicamente, é como se fosse um departamento que tem 2 pessoas que estão aqui só para cuidar dos alunos internacionais. Então, elas vão cuidar dos seus documentos, vão cuidar se você precisar ir para o hospital, ou se você precisar fazer qualquer coisa, que você quiser qualquer ajuda, elas vão estar ali todos os dias do ano para você. E isso é muito bom para alunos internacionais também, porque quando eu vim para cá, eu tinha esse medo de tipo, meu Deus, eu vou me mudar para lá e vai ser a primeira vez que eu vou para Michigan, nunca fui para Michigan, não sei se eu vou me acostumar com tudo diferente, com falar inglês todo dia, com o frio, que aqui é geralmente frio 5 dos 12 meses do ano. E eu tinha esse medo, assim, de ter uma nova experiência. Mas sabendo que tinha gente que estava ali o tempo inteiro cuidando de mim, torcendo por mim, que poderia me ajudar caso eu precisasse, foi definitivamente um fator que pesou muito na minha decisão. Essas são fotos da gente. Isso foi 2 anos atrás e essa foto foi anteontem. A gente tem, como eu disse, muitas opções de cursos. Então, a gente tem antropologia, história, filosofia, ciências políticas, mas a gente também tem business, a gente tem economia, inglês, todas as ciências, basicamente. Se vocês quiserem saber um pouco mais sobre isso, é só pesquisar no nosso site, albion.edu, que vocês vão achar todas as opções. Tem muito mais que essas, mas essas são as principais. Eita, voltou para o começo. Ah, tá. Se você estiver interessado em medicina ou cursos relacionados à medicina, ou se você quiser fazer odonto ou enfermagem ou coisas desse tipo, tem institutos no campus que vão te ajudar. E se você quiser fazer administração, finanças, economia, contabilidade, engenharia, direito e educação, vão ter pessoas treinadas no campus que são coaches nessa área, que vão estar lá também todos os dias para te ajudar a escolher suas matérias, para te ajudar a conseguir um emprego, para te ajudar a conseguir um estágio. Então, isso também ajuda bastante. E eu estou quase terminando a minha parte. A gente... Eita, caramba. Tudo bem. A gente tem muitas atividades no campus, que a gente chama de clubs and organizations, e elas têm vários tópicos. Então, a gente tem umas para a área acadêmica. Então, por exemplo, eu curso Geologia, a gente tem o Geology Club, tem gente que gosta de aplicar na Bolsa de Valores, tem um clube para isso, tem clube de esporte, tem clube de várias religiões, tem clube para gamers, tem clube para quem gosta de fazer atividade voluntária. A gente tem mais de 100 possibilidades e elas são muito diferentes. Então, com certeza, você vai chegar aqui e você vai encontrar pelo menos uma coisa que você vai ser muito interessado. Eu, no momento, estou em 5 clubes. Eu sei que os meus outros amigos que estão aqui também são super envolvidos. E a gente tem, como eu disse, muitas possibilidades. Uma delas, que é o nosso foco hoje, é a Greek Life. E eu vou deixar o John falar agora um pouquinho mais sobre isso, já que ele tem muito mais experiência que eu. Can you go ahead, John?
Yeah, thank you, Marcel. So I'll kind of talk more about Greek life at Albion with all of you. Kind of going to do some of the basics in this presentation, so I'm not going to get too crazy detailed with it, but just kind of talking about what Greek life is at Albion and kind of, kind of being realistic with it, because obviously what you see in the media and on TV and movies is most of it's not true, especially at Albion. I like to think that since we are a smaller school, that we really are focused more on the positives of Greek life and that we excel in those. So just a little bit of just background information. Albion College, about 50% of our student body are Greek. We have 6 fraternities and 6 sororities that make up our social Greek community. And one thing about Albion that's kind of unique to us is that all students that are first year cannot actually join any of these Greek organizations until their second semester of their freshman year, which I think is a really nice thing that we do at Albion, because it gives you, your first semester at Albion to really get kind of used to the academic life at Albion, if you're involved in athletics or just, just campus life in general. It really kind of gives you a strong footing to succeed in college. So at Albion, the spring semester is when we have our recruitment seasons for each of the fraternities and the sororities. But during the fall semester, that's actually a time for you to explore each of the houses and kind of see what they're about, kind of what their values are, to see if they are a good fit for you. So every organization does recruitment events, or rush events for short. And this is a time for you to come over to usually the houses, and you get to meet people in the house. Usually there's free food, so it's a way to chit chat, get a free meal out of it, and just kind of see what the guys are about and see if your personalities kind of mix with them. Usually there's at least a few for every house in the fall, so you can kind of go to each of them and kind of see, do I like the vibes of these houses? Do I think I'd fit in with these people? So it's really a great way to just kind of see if it's for you or if not. And if it is something that you really do like and you're interested in doing, when it comes time to the springtime, for fraternities, they do more of a I'd say more of a relaxed recruitment process. So what it is if you hang out at the house and you get to know a lot of the guys in the house, they will extend a bid to you to join the house. So usually if you're someone who comes around and hangs out and, really with the guys, they'll invite you to a bid dinner in the spring semester where you come over to the house, you get fed a nice fancy meal, and then you also just get to hear from different people in the chapter about what they do. And then after that, they will send you a bid, which is an invitation to join. And then you have the option of signing that bid, which means you accept it, or if you choose not to accept it, you can decline it. And that's for the fraternities. And then the sororities, they do this a little bit different. So they have something known as formal recruitment, which is kind of a more, I guess I'd say, in-depth process of joining. So with the sororities, you actually sign up for recruitment and you will get to go to all of the houses and meet the girls in the houses and get to talk to them, kind of learn more about what they do as an organization. And then you'll be able to kind of rank them and choose which houses you really like. And then you will be invited back to the houses that you really like. And then it's usually like a weekend. So it's like a 3-day cycle. And then at the end, 3rd day, you'll be in one of the sororities at Albion and you'll be joining one of those. So sororities are a little different than fraternities. So I don't know as much as the fraternities, but that's just kind of a general background and kind of how recruitment works. Marcel, you can go to the next slide. That'd be great. And then kind of talking more about the different areas within Greek life. A big portion of what we do as Greek organizations here is focus on community service and philanthropy. That is one of the pillars of all the Greek organizations at Albion. So each organization usually works with like one national or local philanthropy or charity. Every organization kind of has different variances. So My fraternity works with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which is located in Memphis, Tennessee in the US. And they help children who are diagnosed with cancer, and they don't charge, the families don't pay a single dollar for the care. They rely strictly on donations to help pay for the treatment for the children. Some other organizations, I know Delta Gamma, which Amina is a member of, they do Service for Sight, which is an organization that helps children who maybe are blind or are have issues with their sight, and providing them with resources and help. Another one is Safe Place, which is actually located in a neighboring city of Albion, and they are a women's and children's shelter. So they help out women and children in need and provide them with a home to live in, as well as basic necessities, you know, whether it be like blankets, but even like toothbrushes, toiletries, things like that. Another one is JDFR or JDRF, and they work, they are a diabetes organization, so they help individuals with type 1 diabetes. And then we have Prevent Child Abuse America, which is another one, and they work with children who have maybe possibly been abused before and giving them, you know, kind of help and, you know, kind of helping them pass their trauma. Another one is CASA, which is court-appointed special advocates, and they work with children who maybe are in the legal system and they serve as advisors and helping them. And then another one too is the American Red Cross, who usually helps with disaster relief. I know they help both in the US as well as abroad. So these are just a few of the organizations that different organizations at Albion work with. We also do events within the local community as well. So the Greeks are really involved in these national organizations as well as locally. So within the city of Albion, where Albion College is located, we actually do an event every Halloween called Spooktacular, which is a really cool event where the local kids from the elementary schools get to come on campus and they'll actually trick or treat at different stops along our campus, and they'll get candy from us. It's a really big event that a lot of the local kids come to. I always enjoy doing it because not only do the kids get to dress up, but the college students ourselves, we also dress up when we give out candy. So it's a really fun event to do every Halloween. I actually was on the planning committee for it last year, and then I'm on the committee again this year. So I really enjoy doing that type of service. In addition, we also help out with the local elementary school. So there's an elementary school about 2 blocks off our campus. And a lot of our students, our Greek students, as well as our athletes, will go there and serve as mentors for students. So they'll usually go at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, and they'll just kind of hang out with each, like their respected student. They'll play games with them, just talk to them, kind of, be a friend to them, which is really nice. So those are kind of some of the other things that we do within the local Albion community as well, under that community service and philanthropy kind of area of Greek life. And then we also are really big on brotherhood and sisterhood, and specifically doing events to strengthen that. So every fraternity and sorority will partake in different brotherhood or sisterhood events. So for instance, I know some of the sororities will have movie nights together, where they'll like make popcorn and they'll watch TV, under like blankets and everything. They'll watch like rom-coms. I know some of them actually do like bachelorette viewing parties, which is a television show in the United States. So they'll kind of do things like that together. I know in addition, they'll also do like holiday parties where they can come. I know, like, for instance, they do a Christmas party, as well as like Valentine's Day parties and stuff like that. So it's kind of a fun time to come together, hang out. Usually they'll, just hang out with each other. There's food, things like that. So it's kind of a fun thing. In addition, I know some fraternities as well will do like movie nights, which is pretty common. I know my chapter does them Tuesday nights, so usually our movie night. So we'll just come together in our kind of like living room, family room area. We usually make popcorn and we'll watch a movie together, which is really fun. In addition, though, we'll also do other events with fraternities and sororities. We'll mingle together, and we call those mixers, which is a time for them to come and hang out. Usually the sororities will come over to the fraternity houses, and we'll play games with them and just kind of chit chat and socialize with them. So some kind of fun events. So we also mingle with each other and socialize as well. So that's one nice thing too, is that there's always going to be something going on with, whether it be your sorority or fraternity. You can always hang out with, some of the girls or the guys in the house are always going to be down to hang out. If you ever need someone to talk to as well, they're always there for you. That's one thing I really liked, was I got a support system out of my fraternity. I think for me, that was a big reason why I joined my freshman year. So I just think it's really great that we have these strong brotherhood and sisterhood bonds with each other, and we form these relationships that will last lifetimes. I know for me, The guys in my fraternity will be my friends probably in forever. I can, they'll be at my wedding and other big events for me. So I know I have them to support me and rely on me, as well as, them also supporting me as well. So that's something I really like that I got out of my Greek life experience and that I've really enjoyed in my time in college at Albion and in my fraternity. And then Marcel, I'll let you take it back.
Thank you. So right now I will open for questions. So at first I will ask them some questions. I'll ask Amina, John, and Frank some questions. But if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to write them on the chat and we will talk about them in a second. Let me go back here. Can you guys still see my screen? Okay, good. So Amina, John, and Frank, my first question would be, why Greek life? Why did you guys decide to join it? Did you guys know about it before you got to college? How was this process?
I can go first. So honestly, I'll just be completely honest. I didn't know anything about Greek life when I first came to college. Like, all I heard was rumors. I saw movies about like Greek life and how kids would get hazed and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't want to be part of that because I don't want to deal with that. And then I came here and I met one of the guys in the fraternity that I'm currently in. And like, it was nothing like the movies. They are super welcoming, super understanding, and they just love being part of this community that we're in and like just being so helpful. And it's kind of like a mentoring system too, because you have someone that you're paired with that will mentor you in life and like mentor you throughout college and stuff. So like when I first joined, I really gained a lot of friends, and honestly I call them my family because it is my family away from home, because I'm from Texas, which is completely other side from Michigan. So it's like a whole different thing. So I'm very grateful that I was able to join Greek life and have these group of guys that I call my friends and family. So yeah.
Okay, I can go next. Yep. And so as I have mentioned before, I came to the Albion College campus during the pandemic, where I didn't have the chance to socialize as usual, like as a normal kids do in the college. And then like my FIA mentor, which so I like the thing that Albion College do like during the freshman year, like they assign mentors to the freshmen and they kind of mentor and help support the freshmen to go along throughout the college lives. And my FIA mentor just like suggested me, oh, I think you'll be like a good fit in sorority, but I wasn't sure at all because I had like watched typical stereotypical movie songs or like videos or whatever about like sororities, but the recruitment process like totally changed my mind, and it was totally different than I thought. Like the girls were so sweet, especially the sisters of Delta Gamma, which I'm in a pledge in last spring, were super sweet, super supportive, and they helped a lot to like go along, find my ways. And even after I graduate, I think we'll be like a friends and sisters throughout our lives. So I think it's the best way you can like grow and feel the love from others and give love and share love to the sisters in a Greek life and also fraternities. Yeah.
Yeah, no, from my perspective, so my sister actually was in a sorority when she was in college, so I'd kind of gotten a little bit of an idea what Greek life was like. Obviously, she was in a sorority, I'm in a fraternity, so it was a little bit different, but kind of ahead of time, I had a little bit of an idea of it. Not gonna lie though, I was not really, like, it wasn't on my radar or something I was like super interested in being in. It wasn't really until I got into campus in the fall semester and I started meeting guys in the fraternity I ended up joining that I really even, seriously considered it. Because originally I was like, no, it's not for me. But as I got to know the guys and formed those close friendships and relationships, I realized that I really did feel, kind of at home with those guys, and I felt comfortable being around them. So for me, eventually when I was invited to join, I did it in an instant. I didn't have to think about it. I was just ready to jump feet first into it. So for me, it was kind of nice that I had some time my first semester really to kind of get to know people and kind of see, is this something I want to do? Is it for me? Which I really liked. And another thing I really do like about Albion's setup.
This question is for Amina. So as an international student, what were your expectations? Were they met? How do you feel being an international student and being part of Greek life at the same time?
So just fun fact, I'm the first international sister to Delta Gamma, and it was like a whole new experience to me and as well as to my sorority. So like I see the like international like a relationship between me and my sorority as the best way to like exchange the international experience, and it's the best way to like share my culture and also like make myself educated by the like state's culture as well. So I think it's the best way to like combine the two cultures together and the sorority and also in the Greek life. So it's like very interesting to see how myself like as an international student, like how different I could be or how I can learn from them as an academic and also as a social skills and experience. So yeah, I still learning, I still sharing with them.
So another question just popped in the chat. So I'll read it, and Amina, Frank, and John, feel free to answer it. Is there anything you can mention that you are only able to accomplish because you are involved in a fraternity or sorority, or maybe something that you accomplish it faster because of it?
I can grab this one. I guess I'll go for it. So I'll be honest, coming into college, I was not a very outgoing person. I was pretty kind of quiet and kept to myself usually. I wasn't someone who would just walk up to strangers and start talking to them out of nowhere, which I know in college they always say is what you need to do. But what I found is that when I joined a Greek organization, my confidence grew greatly. Like I felt like I was so much more confident in my just daily life, just meeting people. I just felt like for me, it was so much easier to strike up a conversation with someone I had never met before, or just to, find that commonality through conversations. I know I always was like, I wasn't sure, like even when I was a freshman that first semester, I usually was a little bit reserved. I usually didn't go out and meet people as much as I probably should have. But through the Greek organization, I was able to gain confidence in myself that I was able to take into the real world. And even now through Greek life, I mean, I've gotten involved in the college admissions and working as a student, kind of like ambassador, tour guide, and just meeting new people and telling them about Albion. I know that's something I probably would have never done. Even like I could have thought of doing even in high school before I came to college. So for me, it really was a big development in my confidence and just my overall ability to, meet people.
And now you're presenting for a bunch of international students that you've never met. So that's your point right there, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great perspective. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to add anything?
Sure, I can add something. So one thing that I gained from being part of my fraternity too is that I was struggling with grades my sophomore year. And because being part of Greek life and my fraternity in general, I was able to start getting a lot better grades. I started getting 4.0s instead of my usual 3.0s and stuff like that. So because of being part of my fraternity and this education system and academic system that we have built in our Greek life, it helped me so much. And now I'm doing so much better in classes. This past semester, I got almost all 4.0s and 137. So like I'm kicking ass, and that's the best way I could put it.
I'll move on to the next question. The next question is, how inclusive you guys think Greek life is for minorities and low-income students?
I could take this one. Because I am a minority and I'm also low income. I'm a low income student as well, so it kind of fits the bill. But I think Greek life is very inclusive when it comes to low income students and minority students, especially from both sorority and fraternity aspects of things, because you see a lot of students like myself. I'm Latino, so you see a lot of students like myself involved in Greek life. We also have different international students, African American students, Asian students, a lot of different types of students that are involved in Greek life, and we love our diversity and inclusion because we like learning about different cultures, different perspectives, and learning about how people live in different countries, and that's what makes Greek life so special. So yeah.
I would pick on that. And I have a question. What it takes, like financially speaking, in terms of contribution and actually spending money, what it takes to be a member or to become part of a fraternity or sorority?
So for that, every fraternity and sorority usually have their own dues that they have to pay for. So sororities have their membership fees, fraternities usually have a different fee that they have to pay for. And usually for fraternities, if you're on the fraternity meal plan and you're not on the school meal plan, you get a refund check through the college that you can use to pay for your fraternity dues and the meal plan that you're there. So it's very beneficial and all that stuff. And usually a lot of the fraternities and sororities on campus are very understanding and are willing to do like payment plans and stuff like that to help you stay in Greek life.
So it doesn't necessarily has to be an extra charge, but it can be like a switch from paying for school or university and paying for the Greek lives, that it like the room and board part of that cost.
Yeah. So room you still have to pay for, but like I said, the meal plan you wouldn't have to pay for because you would switch to the fraternity one. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, also adding on that, we do have a scholarships. I'm planning to apply for my sorority scholarship coming this fall because the applications open in fall usually. So even though there could be some like burdens like financially, you can also have a chance to apply for scholarships, which can take your pressure from the payments.
Yeah, I know. I received a scholarship from my fraternity this past spring, actually. So that actually helped pay for a lot of my dues, was getting that scholarship. But I know every Greek organization has those scholarships you can apply to. And then you get the money, which then you can use to pay for it. So there is those benefits and those financial options as well that can help pay as well.
We got another question. It is, can one join Greek life since freshman year, or does it vary from one to another?
So for that question, so we have at Albion, we have something called deferred recruitment. So we don't accept anyone, a freshman, their first semester that they're here because the college expects them to live in the freshman dorms for their first year. But on your second semester of freshman year, you can start rushing and look into sororities and stuff like that. So you can join your second semester of freshman year, but you can't join your first semester freshman year.
And then you can join your sophomore year as well, or your junior year. It's not like you have to join as a freshman and you can never join. You can join your sophomore, junior, or even senior year. So if you decide to wait, maybe you're not sure or anything and you want to think about it more, you can wait. You don't have to do it that second semester freshman year.
Thank you. So our next question, we kind of talked about it a little bit, is Greek life kind of like in the movies? Do they have a lot of parties? What are the grades of students that are part of Greek life?
I'll take this one. So I mean, definitely Greek life is not like the movies whatsoever. It's very different. I will say Greek life is just a really fun experience. You gain a lot of leadership skills, you gain a lot of social skills, you gain a lot of connections and benefits from being part of Greek life. And then, like I said, grade-wise, it helps you so much being part of Greek life because I get to see how Greek life compares to the rest of campus. Greek life grades overall are about point two higher than the average student on campus. So being part of Greek like pushes you to strive to be better and to have a higher GPA, which is very beneficial if you're planning on going out to graduate school or things like that, because you're also part of an organization that might have connections later on in life for you to get a job as well. So yeah.
I would also ask about, it takes too much time from your day and from your week to be part of a Greek life, because John was talking about all this great community driven things that you do. And well, how much of your time do you have left for other things? Like Marcel was just saying that she is part of all the 5 different clubs. I know that it takes a lot, and she's also working for a university as well, a part of being a student. So how can you all like manage all that time that it takes? I see Frank smiling also because, well, you, if I got it right, you are the president of the fraternities on campus. How does that work as well?
So I'm the interfraternity council president. So I'm part of a council that oversees the 6 fraternities on campus. So I do that. And honestly, when it comes to time management and having time, I think it's not that hard because I am also involved in a lot of different things, but I do find time to like unwind, do homework, read, and stuff like that. So there is time throughout the day, especially at night, to do homework and stuff and still socialize, still have friends, and still have that social life. It's just kind of a thing at Albion where a lot of students are involved in like 4 to 5 different organizations on campus. So it's just, you'll see a bunch of Albion students being involved in a lot of things. So yeah.
I also have another question. I'm shooting out today. Marcel, this is for you. You're being a Brazilian student. You're not involved at a sonority. And how do you see these organizations, like how they actually interfere on campus? What is that they do that actually you can benefit from, or you can see like, oh, that's what they are doing. Oh, that's how Greek life actually impacts or influences your life on campus.
So I think the main thing is that they do a lot of volunteer service together, and that can be seen anywhere, both on campus and in the community. So Albion is a city with around 9,000 people, and so the college is a big part of it. So one thing that I really see is that Greek life members really care about the community and they really want to make it better. Another thing I see is that they have a lot of open events. So even if you're not a member, you can still go there, meet new people, have lunch, have dinner with them, talk a little bit. So they're not like exclusive. If you're not part of it, you can't come to my house. It's not like that. And another thing I know is that they have really strong study groups, like Frank said. So usually each frat, each sorority has their study group and they study together. So they have that time to be together, but also to study. So it's 2 in 1. And Greek life students are usually really involved on campus in everything. So they are not just part of Greek life, but they are also part of clubs, organizations. They are usually the people that go present their research projects. They are usually the people that you see that the college will post about, because they are the people who are like the best students we have.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. So the next question is almost the last one is, if you're just thinking about being involved in college activities to have a good time and make friends, how necessary do you think joining Greek life is? Could you talk a little bit about how the rushing process works?
Okay, I can answer for that. Did you say how the Russian process work? Okay, so in my experience, it was all virtual, so I can depend on that. So you'll first of all register for the application process by submitting the introduction video of yourself, like what you like to do in your leisure time, what's your hobby, what like sports you play, or like a dream about your life, or anything you want to share with them. And then after reviewing the video, they will contact you, and then you'll set up meeting with like every sororities, and then you'll talk with like many sororities and many sisters from a different sorority, so you'll kind of see the distinction between the sororities, kind of vibes. Are you like vibing with them, like your chemicals between them? And after that whole process, you'll choose two sororities that you think you can be a best fit in them. And then after choosing the two sororities, the other sororities will decide if they want you in their sorority or not. So after that mutual choosing process, it has a mutual relationship between you and the sorority. In other words, like you have to choose the specific sorority, and that sorority must choose you like backwards. So it's like corresponding relationship. So after that process, there's a thing called like a revealing process. So in that event, you'll get to know which sorority you got joined in, or you would you skip the year just because you didn't got chosen by any sororities, but it's very rare that happens. And after that, you will get to know what sorority you got joined, and meet your sisters and visit your house. And there it begins. The whole journey begins there.
I have a question on that. You just mentioned like you could choose from two different sororities that you think that fits the most. Well, I understand Albion is a small city and also a small college. How it can be that you have so many different houses? Like Jones was presenting on that, and he was showing like 12, 6 for fraternities and 6 sororities, and I was like, oh, that's a lot actually. And how are they different among them?
So yeah, out of like 1,500 students, like half of them are in a Greek life. So like each sorority will have 40 to 45 girls in one house, and each of the sorority has a different vision, like a different volunteer activity and different visionary, like a propose as a mutual purpose. And also, when I don't know how to explain it, but like when you speak like in personally and talk about the life or like hobbies, their like personalities are kind of similar. Like the sorority, like a sisters and a one sorority are kind of like a same personality, and the characteristics are like pretty similar. And I think it's all about like a spiritual characteristic, I would say. Yeah, it's all about like chemical between the girls. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that as well. Do you have any other questions, Marcel?
I have our last question that is open for any of the three of you. We know there are multiple clubs and organizations that students can join on campus. What do you guys think is something that a student will get out of joining Greek Life that they won't get for any other clubs or organizations?
I mean, I will say something that's very true about Greek life as a whole is that once you join Greek life, you join a brotherhood and a sisterhood that will be there for you for life, because it is a family, and that's something that you normally won't get outside of Greek life. I mean, you'll have college friends and stuff like that, but being part of Greek life, being part of a sorority and a fraternity, you gain that bond, that feeling of family with your sisters and brothers that you'll have for the rest of your life. Like John said earlier, like he'll have brothers from his fraternity that will be at his wedding and things like that. That's how strong our bond will be and stuff like that. So that's one thing I say that you'll get out of Greek life.
I would agree with Frank. Honestly, I think that's the best way you could say it, is the relationships last forever, so they don't just end after your 4 years here.
So this is the end of my questions. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to write them on the chat. But other than that, I think we're good.
Yes, I finished with my questions as well. Actually, just a quick note. Frank, you said that you are part of a committee that oversees fraternities. How is that overseeing? What exactly are you overseeing? Like, is it more a social aspect or an academic aspect or both, or how does it work?
So the IFC Council is a council that has different positions such as recruitment, philanthropy, academic, risk, and programming. So we put a lot of different events for the fraternities and Greek life as a whole, such as like draft night or spooktacular, like Jonathan said, and different things when it comes to the community and stuff like that. So when it comes to overseeing, it's more of us putting events for Greek life and the fraternities and making sure that they're successful, making sure that they have the resources that they need to have the big numbers that they have, and like be more diverse and inclusive, and like just continue the education and just being more stuff like that. Because there's also the Panhellenic side, which is the same thing as IFC, but for the sororities. So the sororities as well have the Panhellenic Council that does exactly the same thing that I do, but on the sorority side. So yeah.
And about all that community services that you do, is it that I see that you propose these kind of services to these fraternities and sororities, but can the fraternities themselves like choose what they want to do, or also can the community come to the university and like propose something that the fraternities could be helping with or something like that? Is it possible?
I'll leave that to my my service and philanthropy chair. Sorry, John.
Good. Yeah, no, I'll cover it. I'm services my area. So in general, every Greek organization has a national one that they are required to work with and do work with, whether it be raising money or doing service for them. But a lot of the organizations, in addition, will work with other organizations. So for instance, working with the local community, we initiate that. A lot of times we'll have people from the city say, hey, would any of the Greek organizations be willing to help out with this project? I know this past spring, we had a weekend where we actually went around Albion and helped kind of beautify some of their gardens and some of their like in their local parks. We also help out a lot with just cleaning parks up. But really, like anything service-wise, we always, if the community asks, we're always more than willing to help and get groups of people together to do it. So there really is a strong connection. So obviously we do work with our national organizations, but we will also do things with other groups. So it's not like we only work with one. We do a mix of them. So we do a lot of service, whether it be locally or internationally or, globally, anything like that. We're always down to help in any form we can or in any way we can.
That's something that we actually don't see on the movies, like the fraternity guys working, cleaning out the parks. So that's pretty nice. Thank you for sharing.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But well, it's something that definitely doesn't come to the mind when we are thinking of fraternities and sororities and with all the cultural aspect that we are. That is made available to us as international student and community. So, well, I think this is it. I don't have any other questions, at least not for now. But thank you so much for making this possible, for taking the time for being here, and thank you, Marcel, as well, for bringing such great people to our session to share their ideas and what they are doing to their community.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I will respond as soon as I can. And yeah, so any questions, anything that you need, you can contact me. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Have a great one. And till the next time, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.